If you'd like to know how to analyze, buy, refurbish, and refinance so you can rent the property out, you can go again and buy more houses, this video is for you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you step by step on how to analyze, buy, refurbish, and refinance and rent property. And this is a real life example of one of my investors' deals. So I just want to review what he's done and advise him accordingly whether we're going to go ahead with the deals or what would be our maximum offer. And the beauty about these deals I'm going to be analyzing now are deals based on auction purchase. So if you want to know about how to analyze deals for auction, again, this video is for you. For those who don't know me, my name is Rahim. I started my property investment journey just over 7 years ago. I was in a job where I was undervalued, underappreciated, going nowhere. I took my leap of faith to start my investment journey with little to none of my own money to building a multi-million pound property investment portfolio. I did that by renting properties out at the beginning from landlords and subsequently rent these properties out on a room by room basis. The money I made from there I then used to start buying my own investment properties. I hope that earns my right to tell you or mentor my investors to help them make decisive decisions to buy properties that make money work for them instead of them working for it. So let's jump onto the analysis and see what we get from there. So we've got these two properties here. So the first property is in Jubilee Drive, Kidminster. It's a 3-bedroom detached house. He sent me the links as well. So if we copy that link here, so the first thing we want to do is to understand what sort of property it is. What are we actually buying? Okay, so for us, we have a golden rule where the worse the property, the better it is, because we want to go and add value. We call it, if you think of we, think of me. So as you can see here, this is the property. It looks like it's got a little driveway here. Okay, that could be a bonus. And then we're gonna look at the photos. Okay, look at the photos like that. Okay, you can see here it definitely needs work. Okay, that's fine. And then their guide price is £20,000 plus, and it confirms that. Okay, and then it's a freehold, very important. We need to know that it's got 2 reception rooms. That also is a good thing. And also it's got additional downstairs bathroom, utility area. Again, that is very good. Generous, three generously sized bedrooms and a further upstairs family bathroom. That means you've got 2 bathrooms and a storage. Okay, so you can see the summary here. Again, you know there, and obviously we know it is a 3-bedroom, 2 reception. But I can see here the property could be suitable for multiple of possible extension to the rear and the side, meaning there's a potential to also go and do loads with this property. Okay, there's huge potential there. But obviously we need to verify what the seller is saying. Okay, so now we've got that, and then obviously you need to know how much you need to put down if you're buying the property. 10%. Okay, and they've also told you have to complete within 28 days, and then obviously talked about the 10% here as well. Okay, so we've reviewed that part. Obviously, it's important for you to read the legal pack. I'm not going to go into the legal pack. It's purely just to analyze the deal to see if the figures works. Okay, so that is the key things that we'll be looking at here. Obviously, if you want to look at the legal pack, you've got the terms of sales here, what you're going to be paying the auctioneers. Okay, and then obviously they tell you how long it will take, and they tell you about the bidding process and all that sort of thing there. And obviously you got the legal pack as well. The legal pack, obviously, in most cases you have to sign in order to get it. You have to register, and again, registering for an auction website is absolutely free of charge as well. You do not have to pay for it. You can go and sign up to know exactly what is happening with that property. So now we've got this, the first thing we want to do is basically we want to find out first, because looking at the auctioneer's websites, we may not be able to know how far this property is from a train station. Okay, the first thing we want to do basically is to plug this data on Rightmove, so to know how far the property is from everything. Okay, we're going to go in to Rightmove and we're going to pretend like we're looking for a property to buy in that investment area. You're likely to see your property because it's on the market. There it is, 20% guide price. Okay, so you can see the auction is on the 18th of July 2024 and it was listed on the 21st of June 2024. So you click on that. Okay, once you've clicked on that, you can see then here down here is where you want to go. So Kidminster train station, 1.5 miles away, 3 miles away, and 5 miles away. Brilliant. So that then is our golden rule. So we have a certain golden rule that we hit for there. And then obviously now we know that is that we need to check the schools. Okay, there's an academy there, 200 yards away, again 600 yards away. So we've got about 4 schools, all outstanding, right? This one is serious weakness actually. We have 3 good outstanding, and then we have 1 weakness school. So perhaps we don't want to be looking at that score. So but yeah, so that can check that box. So now what we want to do now in this case is to try to understand, 1, how much we may be able to rent the property at. Secondly, how much we may be able to remortgage the property at. Most importantly, how much this property would come up to after we've done all the works. So again, it's good to review the photos again on Rightmove just to see how big this sitting room is. Massive. Okay, massive sitting room. We got the kitchen here. Okay, there's a little circulation going there by the stairs. And then this is another reception room downstairs. And then this also looks like the same room. Bathroom, I think, downstairs. Okay, and then there's another bedroom there. You've got the kitchen. And now we're going upstairs. Right, well, that's the other part of another bedroom. Okay, and that's, I think, is the bathroom upstairs, or maybe downstairs, because it looks like a walk-in shower. That's another bedroom. That's a long property here. This looks like a good sort of land to do so many stuff. So that then check that box. Okay, so now the thing what we want to do now basically is to plug in the figures to understand exactly what it is, which is already kind of done here. Okay, so we've got 120k said, that's how much you're going to want to go up by. But before you do that, you just want to see where you are first. Okay, so if we are to start from here, obviously we've got our deposit to pay, we've got this to pay, we've got the valuation to pay, we've got the 200 mortgage cost. This all is formula driven. He's estimating it to be £30,000. Obviously, it's not going to be £30,000. We wish it was £30,000. So obviously we're now going to look at the rental income. So how do you look at the rental income? Is to go in as if you're looking for a property to rent. Now, they've told us it's 3 bedroom and 2 reception room. We may be able to rent this property as HMO as well. So we're going to check first as a family let, how much we may be able to make as a family let. So what we now want to do here, we're going to put the postcode here. We're going to go to Zoopla. Now I use Zoopla Pro, which is what my estate agency uses, is because it's quicker for me. I don't want to go on Rightmove, start looking for old data. This will give me real data, but Rightmove is still good. You can go pretend like you're looking for a house in order to get some sort of rental amounts that you'd need to rent the property at. So we're going to start at half a mile. We're going to see the how much properties have been rented there for the past 12 months. Okay, and then we know it's a semi-detached house we want to rent, and we know it's a 3-bedroom house, and then we're going to hit search. So now it gives us a result. Okay, you want to be looking at the distance. Okay, 270 yards. Okay, that went for 1,100, semi-detached. Okay, and again that one went for 9. That's a massive swing, isn't it? From 1,100 to 900 pounds, talking about 200 pounds there. But look at the dates. Okay, you can see here this was in September last year, and this one is 1st of May, not long ago. So you're likely to rent it for 1,100. Okay, so moving on here, 1,100. Okay, so not enough data here. So what you now want to increase that slightly to 1 mile radius to see what we can get. So you can see there another one here, 700 yards away for 1,150. So in essence, looking at, we're likely to rent it for 1,100 worst case scenario. So you write that figure down somewhere. So what you then do basically is, okay, now I am likely to rent that property for 1,100. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to go back to my figures here, rent. You change that now to £1,000. Okay, to £1,100. So now you may be thinking, why did I not choose 1,250 or 1,300 as I said, or 900? 900 is not realistic because that was like a couple of years ago or maybe last year. So the rent has gone up significantly. You don't want to like go too low. You want to be somewhere in the middle. Okay, and then I choose that. You may be thinking, why am I timesing it by 11? I times it by 11 because I want to take voids into consideration, because sometimes your tenant may not be able to pay you every single month. So that's the reason why we did that. So looking at that now, we've got £12,000, 12,100 a year, and then obviously the interest you got here is 5%. That's not bad. And then obviously we've got your management fees to pay to the agent and any running costs. We put 8% there. So currently it's making about 3,172. That profit would be subject to the value of the property. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because the interest would be paying here will be based on the new value of the property, not the old value, right? So in essence, it will be value the interest on this 180, 75% of the 180, because that would be our mortgage, isn't it? So that's what that would be here. So if you look at the formula, is you can see there is the fair market value times 75%, because that's what the bank is going to lend us, times the 5% interest. That gives you your annual interest. So our annual interest is that then gives us £3,172. Okay, so now what we now need to verify from what the investor is saying, if we've done up the property, how much will that property worth? But before we do that, remember I told you we might be able to rent this property as a HMO. So what we now want to do is to look at if there's anybody doing HMO in that area. Is there a chance for us to rent the property on a room by room basis? So what we're now going to do, we're going to go to a website called Spare Room. Spareroom.co.uk. So once we hit Spare Room, obviously again to use this platform is completely free of charge. Okay, you just have to go there and then you hit that search and see what's there. So you've got 10 rooms available between 400 to 675. You've got 550 here, you have £80 per week, you got 450, 525 and so on. Okay, so we now know we can minimum we can rent this property is 475 or maybe £500, because everything almost apart from this one is going for 500 plus. Okay, that 475 you see here might be for a single room. You see, 475 for a single room. So now what we want to do now basically is to see if there are people looking for properties there. Okay, so we look at that. We have 37 people looking for houses in that area. So it's not a massive 3-digit numbers. And but looking at the 10 houses available, and it's kind of not a perfect place to do HMO, because obviously the demand is not as I would expected. I know it's 3 times more, but we expect it to be like 10x more. Then if it's 10x more, then like, you'll be like, whoa, this is serious stuff. You're gonna make money out of this. Okay, that's what you want to be wary about. So okay, so we can still look at that in some future, but let's make sure it works first as a buy-to-let. You'd always have to make sure the property works as a buy-to-let, meaning makes you money as a buy-to-let before you consider any other investment exit strategy. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. We're gonna keep that amount. So the next thing that we want to do is to work out how much we may be able to remortgage or sell this property. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. So now we're gonna click on for sale instead of to rent. To know. So now we want to look for something very similar to our house. Okay, we want to look for something very similar to our house. Why? Because that's what may be the most realistic, okay, way of buying the house, okay, or getting the price that we may be able to revalue it at. So we got 180 here. That looks reasonable. It's the same house, 180. We've got one for 230. That was 11th of June. Okay. And then we've got 325, we have 240, 160, 350, 230. Okay, but this one's got a garage. And then we've got 150, 200, and then we've got 290. So in a sense, we're looking at maybe between 170 and 190 in this case. Okay, so he's saying 180. It's not kind of bad the way it is. Okay, I think he's in the right location. Okay, in terms of price wise. So if we go to here, there we look at the sold houses. Sometimes you don't get lots of data, but this would also help you. Sold data is the house that's actually been sold and at the price they've been sold at. Okay, so you can see here, one has gone not long ago, March 2024, for 175,000. This one went for 185, but this one's slightly different to our house, so we're not going to consider that one. Okay, this one also is different to our house. This one's similar to our house. If we do the front, that one went for 198, 250, 167. Okay, this is a smaller house. And then we've got 175 here. Even mid-terrace house is going for that price. So so 180 is kind of okay. right? It's kind of okay. So we kind of stick to that figure for now, okay? So what now we want to do is, okay, now let's start from 170, okay? So now, so the things to note here with my investors, whoa, I said 1.5 million, 1.7 billion, I wish. Okay, so I'm used to big figures, sorry. Right, so basically what we're saying here, basically, we are, right, at this point here, 57K. So I don't know why this is minus. I don't know where it's got this figure from. Okay, so what you now want to do here is this. Okay, so you're gonna delete that figure because that figure is not right. So you wanna do this. Oops, you wanna do this minus this and minus your refurbishment and everything cost. So at this time, basically, this then tells you by how much we could go up by from our guide price in order not to leave any money in. But knowing that that amount here is low, okay, so I'm gonna increase this amount to about £60,000, okay, because that's the most realistic. Okay, about £60,000. With £60,000, we have 39,775 to play with in order not to leave any money in. So in essence, we can increase our offer by £40,000. Okay, so what you now want to do for you to not to leave any money in the deal. But here's the thing: it doesn't mean if you leave money in the deal, it's a bad deal. It just means you've left something in. You can go again, wait for some time, property goes up in value, then you can get your money back and from rent as well. But we've got a goal and we want to be pulling our money out as quickly as we could possibly can so we can go again and buy more houses. Okay, so if you look back here now, we want to increase that offer now because the guide price. Guide price is the amount to attract people. Reserve price is the price you're going to buy the property at. Okay, so if we then say we want to add about £40,000 here maximum, so we can do 4 times 2 here. That takes us to about £100,000. Okay, so we don't want to go that far. We want to go, say, times it by 3. That takes us to £75,000. I'm not sure why this figure is in red. Yes, it is in red. So now we now know, basically, in order for us not to leave any money in the deal, we have to buy that property at £60,000. At £60,000, what that means, we would have done all the renovation works, pull all our money back, we can go again and buy more houses. Okay? At that point, we've recycled all our money out. But obviously, because we might not be able to do that, we can say, okay, now we may be able to leave at least maybe £10,000 or £5,000 in, because obviously we may get that within the next 24 months. Okay, so we can say, okay, now we can go up to 202.5, right? That's not a lot. So let's see how much we've left there. We've left £1,000 on the deal. You can say, okay, now I can go up to probably three, maybe doubling the price 3 times. So that means you're leaving 14K in the deal. You can say, okay, I don't want to leave 14K in the deal. Maybe I want to leave £9,000 in the deal. So if you leave £9,000 in the deal, we now know we may be able to get that money back as quickly as we could possibly can. In what ways? One, in reducing our renovation costs. Secondly, by renting the property in another way, like service accommodation, for example, or by HMO, right? Is this making sense? But you have to work as family let. So in this example, it works as a family let. Okay, we only live in 9,320K. It's not a bad investment, and we know we've reduced what the investor is saying. We know we are likely to get it at £180,000 worst case scenario. If that's the case, we only live in £1,800, and in about half a year, we've got our money out. We can go again and buy more houses. So that's what you want to do. But you want to be analyzing it based on worst case scenario, right? That's what you want to do. You want to underestimate your income and overestimate your expenses. So that property then, what this means is that our maximum offer for this property is £70,000. As soon as it's gone over £70,000, you run as fast as you could possibly can, not to even hear how much this property was sold. Okay, because that's our maximum offer. in order for us to have a good property deal. So if it's more than that, then obviously you can work away. The only time you may go over this amount is if you know you are able to change this property as a HMO property and you'll be making more rental income. And if it's a HMO property as well, you get valued differently, right? You get valued very, very differently because they will do a commercial valuation in it, meaning the value of the property would be a lot more higher. And in your head, if you know 170,000 is your worst case scenario, you know you're going to get it for 175, 180, you might afford to increase your offer slightly. But I make that decision on the day of the auction, right? But that's how I work with my mentees or my investors. So I sit with them on the day of the auction, right? They will be looking at it, I'll be reviewing and analyzing it with them. So based on the day, we see how the demand is like. We do our final analysis. We can either say, okay, now maybe 170 is too much, or 170, we can increase it slightly. Then we determine that at that point, after we've done the local research, we know how the area is like, we've ranked estate agents, doing all the due diligence on the day to ensure that we are making a firm decision, that would allow us to make our money work a lot harder for us. So in essence, that's how you would analyze a buy, refurbish, refinance, recycle, and rent property. So I really hope this session has been helpful. If this session has been helpful, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next one. Thank you.